Hey everybody, Adrian Alson here. It seems to be becoming a thing. I'm getting ready for my online regression hypnosis session, which is taking place in just over 15 minutes. I've cleansed the space, and some people actually ask me, I always cleanse the space, whether it's a smile, higher self channeling, whether it's a tarot reading, whether it's regression hypnosis, distance Reiki, crystal healing, whatever. I always clean the space. You see, I'm still sort of loose. But this video is about the good or the perceived good and bad in tarot. A lot of times through the years, people have said to me so often, I would like to have a tarot reading, but I'm so scared of what's going to come out. What if I don't like it and that sort of thing? And I think something to me that's really, really profound is in my studying thought tarot, Lon Milo Duquette wrote this amazing book called Understanding the Thought Tarot, or Understanding Aleister Crowley's Thought Tarot, which is a really, really great book if you want to go in their thought direction. But he's speaking about asking the right question, or establishing the right question rather. And with tarot, there is really a lot of it, because somebody might come to me and they might say to me, my concern is around, say, money or love or finance or career. And then when you really delve into it, it might be that maybe they've got some undealt with traumas and stuff like that. That might be holding them back. And that's why I always also recommend that, you can just buy a deck of tarot cards and you can just sort of read what they call the little white book, which is that little white booklet. Now, I don't typically keep them very much. I think there might be one here. This little booklet that you normally get inside the deck. This is the Triple Goddess Tarot. Obviously, I did a while because the box is sellotape, so it doesn't fall apart. But you can just read that or read a book on tarot and you can roll with that, and that should be fine. But if you really want to get into tarot, you wanna really sort of learn all the other stuff that it's sort of like representing, astrology and numerology, the tree of life, Kabbalah, all of that sort of stuff, because then you get a much broader idea of what you're actually working with, because tarot is a pictorial depiction of sort of like the story of the universe, the story of us, the story of being, the story of existence, the story of consciousness, the journey of the soul. And as people love to say, and which I love so much, and this is something that Oprah likes to say quite a lot as well, is that it's just life giving you feedback when bad things happen. So we've got this idea sometimes that, what if the tarot reader tells me something really, really scary? What if it's bad? What if it's horrible? What if it's terrible? And with that, there is one major factor that is not bear in mind, and that is that nothing in life is set. A tarot reader, I would actually say anybody that does divinatory work, so tarot, oracle, Nordic runes, coffee leaves, tea leaves, whatever it may be, a lot of people often argue that their practice is sort of like more powerful and potent than another person's practice. But it's really sort of like what helps you connect to source, and you can do it different ways. I mean, when I do sort of like a smile, higher self channeling, that is just me channeling. So, there's no cards and nothing involved. And that typically, first of all, the reason why it's called smile is because smile is the collective consciousness that I work with that comes through in my sessions. And a lot of times when I, for example, do a regression hypnosis session, and one of my clients, and I started to share some of those now, some wonderful people agreed that I can. But, my clients would often ask me, how did you think to ask that? That was such a profound question. I wouldn't have thought about it. And that's why I go into trance with you, and my higher self comes through, and smile, the collective consciousness comes through. But they are also involved in my tarot readings and in my channelings. And through the years, they actually taught me quite a lot. And smile is literally my future self, they're my higher self. But with all of that being apart and all that being said, the thing about a tarot reading is that, what I'm really trying to drive towards is that we get very scared of it sometimes. We get so horrified. What if it's so wrong? What if it's so bad? What if I don't like what comes through? What if it says that I'm destined for doom or something like that? And the thing to remember is that life always has dual possibility. The universe consists of dual possibility. Mathematics was basically founded on the duality of the universe, because mathematics is a way of sort of like explaining or, you can almost say demonstrating, writing down, putting in a tangible, more relatable form, basically, what's going on in the universe. So you look at something like algebra, for example, and Pythagoras and those dudes, and they may become incredibly, or the work in mathematics and stuff may become incredibly detailed. But it also remains very simple. What you do on this side happens on that side. What you do over there affects us over here, that sort of thing. And I think something that really kind of knocked me for a six when I was at school was, the explanation. I think it was in grade 9 at the time, which we used to call back standard 7, because those were like way back in 1997. And I mean, I don't even know how old I was at the time. I'm 40 now. So I was probably about 14, 15. And you could never just tell me this is how something is. I would want to know why. I want to know why, and even until today, I need some sort of motivation to do what I do. And in this work that I do, my motivation is to help other people discover, unlock, expand, maintain, and benefit from their own beautiful blueprint potential in life. That's literally my goal. That's my mission, that's my vision, that's my goal, that's my inspiration, that's my motivation behind everything that I do. To make the world a better place for us here now and also for the next generation, because so many of us complain about the past. They did this and they did that and did that, and if only they did this. But then we follow often in that same footsteps. So the thing to remember, the thing that I'm really trying to drive towards, is that nothing in the universe is just straightforward. When you, for example, have something like a tarot reading, when the reader tells you this is what's happening, this is where you're going, this is what you can look forward to, it's very much, often when you look at tarot, we look at sort of like past, present, and future. But, you can even look at it in where you currently are, so your present, the past influences, what are the influences from the past, the decisions, the things you did and didn't do, and so forth. How do they contribute towards where you are right now, because we create our own life. And where you currently are, what is the sort of like the 90% of energy potential, the strongest potential? Where is that driving you? Where is that taking you? And if it's the way that you like, I mean, great, fantastic, confirmation. In my experience though, and I've been doing tarot for just over 20 years now, nobody really ever just comes for a reading from just pure curiosity, because I was, not having any problems, for example. Some people do have some curiosity, and also, sorry, that's what I meant to say, just to be clear, there's always a sense of curiosity, because the soul is curious. The soul is an evolutionary being. It is in the core nature of the soul to expand, to want to know more, to understand its options more. And in that sense, if you are heading in a, let's call it a bad direction, it's good to know that, because if you know it, you can be proactive about it. You can understand, how am I contributing directly and indirectly to what is coming my way? Because if you don't like it, you don't like it, but there's something that you can do about it. Is this part of my soul contract? Is this part of the agreement that I made here on planet Earth? Is it a company that I'm hanging out with? Do I not fully understand the options that I have available? And so that is all with life giving you feedback, whereas a lot of times what can happen is something in life happens, we don't really like it, and we get so fixated on the fact that we don't like it, that you almost like stay there that you don't like, and then instead of them, sort of like passing through that stage, you actually get stuck in that stage. And that is something that tarot can let you know as well. So when you typically go for a tarot reading, it's going to let you know, this is where you are, this is how you got here, this is where you're going, this is why you are going there, these are the reasons, these are your options around that. So I want to encourage you to not be afraid when it comes to tarot readings. I want to also, assure you that, and I always say this to all my clients before I start doing the reading as well, you do not have to accept everything that I say to you, verbatim. You don't have to. Check in with yourself, with your own consciousness. Does this resonate with me? Does this make sense to me? Is this a truth for me? But in that same token, also say, well, just be mindful that you might be in denial about something, So just keep that open in your mind as well. But apart from all of that, there really is nothing to fear. And I like the way that it's put. I'm not going to say the person's name, but I got this explanation from the person. But this person prefers to not be part of what she refers to as the new age, you know. But she was explaining that it's like walking down the street in the middle of the night. The street's still there, the dangers and whatever's still there. But if you don't sort of have a torchlight and there's no street lamps and whatever, can't see what's going on. So you can't see the danger. You don't have the opportunity to then move out of it, to save the pasture, cross the road, that sort of thing, cry for help, run away, take a different turn. And it's the same thing with tarot. It illuminates what's already there, to then give you more options around it, because knowledge is literally power. All right, so just a quick check-in. Hope that helps. From my heart, namaste, love and light.